Bore da. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya Evans and I'm the head of Children's Services in Blaen y Gwent. I can't tell you what a privilege it is for me to chair this section of the ADSS Summer Festival. So please forgive me whilst I indulge myself for the next 10 to 15 seconds. Maethu Cymru, Foster Wales. Maethu Cymru, Foster Wales. Maethu Cymru, Foster Wales. You have no idea how long I have wanted to say those words out loud in public, as we have had to keep this new All Wales brand for the recruitment of local authority foster carers under wraps until today's launch. Proud, excited, relieved, excited, passionate, excited, thrilled, delighted, and have I mentioned excited? These words sum up how I am feeling about the launch of Maethu Cymru, Foster Wales. Today's launch has been a culmination of 5 years of hard work by so many people. Some who started the journey have since retired and some have moved on to other roles. But they've been replaced with folks who are equally committed to getting this mammoth project over the line. The 22 local authorities in Wales recognise the need to increase one of its most valuable resources, and that is our foster carers. By doing this, we will be better equipped to meet the needs of children when, as a last resort, they need to become looked after. Unless we have experienced a life event like this firsthand, we can never appreciate the massive sense of loss a child suffers when this happens. And this is further compounded when children have to live with families who are not part of their local communities. The launch of Maethu Cymru Foster Wales is the first big step as 22 local authorities that we are jointly taking to rebalance the landscape by having local authority foster carers for our local children wherever they live across Wales. I'd now like to hand over and introduce you to Deputy Minister for Social Services, Julie Morgan. Thank you.
Diolch Tanya, diolch am y cyfle i siarad at lansio Maethu Cymru heddiw. And it's fantastic to hear Tanya's enthusiasm for Maethu Cymru Foster Wales. And it's a really important and exciting initiative that's happening today, bringing to fruition a huge amount of hard work for so many partners. I'm confident that Foster Wales will bring great positive change to the lives of our care experienced children and our foster carers. Foster Wales is born out of the National Fostering Framework, which was developed by all of Wales local authorities, our government and the third sector as a 5-year change programme. Ensuring our care experienced children are able to access good quality and timely placements close to home has been a key focus of the Welsh Government's Improving Outcomes for Children programme over the last 5 years. So going forward in this Senate term, this new Senate term, we made a manifesto and a programme for government commitment to support our National Foster Wales scheme. And I'm so delighted that so early on in this Senate term, we are able to launch this key initiative. Foster Wales offers a consistent and collaborative national brand for local authority fostering, which reflects the strengths and values of our 22 local authorities. It provides us with an excellent opportunity to enhance the recruitment and retention of local authority foster carers, rebalance service provision, address demands, and improve quality of placement choice for children. It will ultimately enable children to have access to the right foster carer at the right time and at the right location. So I would like to express my gratitude to all staff within our local authorities, as well as our foster carers, for your continued efforts and ongoing commitment to support the development of Foster Wales, because it is your passion and dedication that has enabled this to happen. And I want to thank you personally for all your hard work. You truly help make a difference to these young people's lives. Fostering is such an important role that can make a huge difference to the life of a child in a local authority's care. Achieving a stable placement can enable a child to develop and thrive and ultimately make a successful transition to adulthood. And for that to happen, we need dedicated, trained and well-supported foster carers who can provide a safe, stable and caring family environment for the child, encouraging and nurturing them and drawing upon their own skills and experience to help that young person to grow. Getting where we are today has been an exciting journey, and I don't underestimate the amount of work that's been undertaken to develop the All Wales brand. In Wales, we have a rich and proud history of collaborating together to reach our goals, which ultimately make a positive difference for our citizens in Wales. This has been evident during the development of Foster Wales, Maethu Cymru. I look forward to seeing the transformational change in the way that foster carers are recruited and supported by local authority fostering services, and I wish Foster Wales every success for the future. I'd now like to introduce a video clip from a conversation I had with Sally, a foster carer in the Vale of Glamorgan Council, who provided a really good insight into what it's like to be a foster carer. And I'd like to thank Sally personally for taking the time to speak to me about her experiences and really commend her for the vital support she provides to the children in her care. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Well, bore da, Sally, and welcome to my garden. It's really absolutely great to have you here, and I'm really pleased to be part of Foster Wales launch. Thank you so much for taking on this job as a foster carer, because I know how important it is for the very vulnerable children that we have who need homes. So could you tell us how you became a foster carer?
Yes, of course, thank you. I'd always had a passion inside that I wanted to do it. It was always something that I wanted to do. Didn't always understand the role and what it entailed, but yeah, it was something that inside it was always something that I wanted to do. A situation in work lent itself. There was a restructure in work, and my husband said, now's your opportunity, that if you wanted to do that, let's pursue it. So yeah, that was where we started. So I looked on the internet to get the phone number for the local authority. I also had a neighbour who lived 3 doors down from us who was a local authority foster carer, and I could always see how happy the children were. They'd be playing on the street and she'd be doing the school run, and she made it look very easy, I must be honest. So I contacted her, we had a good chat, and I picked up the phone and it went from there really. So, and I haven't looked back.
So what's it like fostering for the local authority? Do you get a lot of support?
Yeah, there's lots of different people involved. So yeah, it's important. School, I think, is pivotal in that. I do believe that, you know, if school and home life work well together, then the child has a better chance. And I think we have a better chance of providing them a platform into adulthood. So yeah.
So you think it's really important to build up a good relationship with the school?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why do you think it's important to foster with the local authority?
I believe that the matching process is better. I mean, ultimately, the local authority is where the children come into first. So if you've got enough foster carers within that, then obviously the children are going to be better placed with the right family, and it's gonna last. It's gonna be meaningful for everybody, and it'll work. And if it works, then they have permanence and continuity. But it was important for me with my children. I've got a child with his own difficulties, learning difficulties, and I had to consider the whole family. It's not just something that I wanted to do. It has to work for everybody, and the local authority, I felt, provided that better placement of better, I don't like the word placement so much, but the better matching process to make it work, and it has worked, you know.
And you think it can be worked out better if children are placed locally?
Yes, I think they've experienced enough, and I think, you know, where possible, as long as it's safe to do so, I like to see children in their own community, and I think it's better for them because they have some, you know, they've made their own friends, and, you know, we don't want to remove, I don't think they should be removed from everything they know. That's giving them, you know, it's important to them, and some family links. My boys were able to have good links with an auntie, and she's been amazing in their life, and I think that's important, and they've been able to stay in their community to keep that going, really, and maintain that. So yeah, they've been able to keep strong links in where they know, instead of giving them more uncertainty and more, you know, there's lots, they've gone through so much. I just think to keep them in their local community is really important for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you recommend people to become foster carers?
Yes, I would. They make me proud every day. Just building their self-esteem. We always used to have a little bit of a joke when they first came and say we'd play a song and they would tell me what they were most proud of that day, so that all the children were involved, because some were high achievers, some are not, and, you know, to be inclusive for everybody, to be proud of something. So sometimes it would be about being a good friend, sometimes it would be having 8 out of 10 in a spelling test, or sometimes it would be sport achievement. There's lots of things that I'm very proud of.
So what would you say to someone who had actually thought of becoming a foster carer but hadn't actually done anything about it?
Pick up the phone. I mean, fostering has changed my life. I genuinely can't imagine now doing anything else. So please pick up the phone, because you can change the life of a child, and there's no greater feeling than that.
Thank you so much for all you're doing for the children that you care for, and I hope people will learn from your experience, and we'll have lots of people wanting to foster. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, I think you will agree that that was an extremely heartwarming film, and I'd like to thank Sally and the Deputy Minister for taking the time to film that in support of today's launch and recruitment of local authority foster carers. Interesting, isn't it? Again, that message about children, they should be staying local, and how that came through as a really important issue again. And I know you'll all agree with that. Also, the message of those thinking about fostering will seek the other foster carers' views if given the opportunity, which is why it's important as local authorities that we continue to work extremely hard to ensure our foster carers have the right training and support to enable to play such an important role in our child's lives. Now, the Deputy Minister isn't able to stay with us for the whole of the session, so I'd like to thank her again for her support today with Maethu Cymru, Foster Wales. So thank you, Minister, thank you for your time. Okay, so just before we share our next clip, I just want to draw your attention to the question tab at the bottom of your screens, and please feel free to pose questions, which we will take after we've shown this next clip. And I have no doubt that this next clip will leave a huge smile on all of your faces. So I'm going to hand over to Rachel now, who's going to show the next clip.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house. It has a crowd. There's always something happening, and it's usually quite loud.
Macy Cymru.
Foster Wales.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house in the middle of our street.
Weithio gyda'i gilydd I adeiladu dyfodol gwell ar gyfer plant lleol.
Working together to build better futures for local children.
I gael rhagor o fanylion am Maethu Cymru.
Ewch I maethucymru.go.cymru.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our
That was fabulous, wasn't it? That's the first time I've actually seen that all pieced together. What a great job. And I could watch that again and again, and no doubt I will. And who knew that so many of our heads of service had such great acting talents. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to move on now to answer a few of the questions that have been posed. We've had quite a number of questions that have been posted in the box, so thank you very much for that. And I'm just going to introduce you to our panel, who are going to assist with the answering of those questions. So I'm going to ask Suzanne, if you could put your, yeah, there she is. So Suzanne, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, good morning everybody. A big smile here as well. Haven't seen the video. My name's Suzanne Griffiths. You mainly know me as the Director of the National Adoption Service, but I've spent the last 5 years supporting the development of Foster Wales, Maethu Cymru as well. And I'm really, really proud to have been part of that.
Excellent. Okay. I can't see Sarah, who's dropped off the screen. I can see Matt, so I'm going to ask Matt to introduce himself next.
Thanks, Tanya. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name's Matt Clark. I'm a branding consultant, and it's been my great privilege to work with and lead the project to develop the work that you're all now finally getting to see in public.
Excellent. And I can see Sarah now. It's like celebrity squares, isn't it? Okay. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, yeah, bore da, good morning everybody. I'm Sarah Thomas, and I've been privileged to be the programme manager for Maethu Cymru Foster Wales for the last few years.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up some of the questions that we've had placed in the chat. So the first question then is, what do you see as the main benefits of Foster Wales for children and foster carers? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Suzanne if you would take the part of that question and respond in relation to the child. And Sarah, if you could then take the part of the foster carers.
Okay, yeah, I'm off mute. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, I mean, I think an awful lot of that has been said by Sally, who spoke so eloquently in the video with the Deputy Minister. But it's really about us being in a position to have more local authority foster placements, so that we've got more placements for children locally, leading to better matching, so that we can actually keep children in their local communities. I don't think we can underestimate how important it is at a time of great stress and trauma to a child or a young person when they're having to come into care for whatever reason. But, you know, the sense of comfort that they will derive from being in their community, being able to keep connected to their friends, to their school, to their hobbies, to their pets in some circumstances, which helps them maintain their sense of identity and resilience, and allows us to have some increased flexibility when we're working towards returning children either to their birth parents or to their wider family. So I think that Foster Wales is very much about maximising best practice, things like relationship building and strength-based approaches that we've been talking about this morning, and maximising outcomes for children.
And
Sarah, do you want to take the next part? Yeah.
yeah, I think just to pick that up from the perspective of foster carers, for our current and future foster carers, this initiative means that whichever local authority they foster with, they're part of a collaboration of 22 now, 22 services who are striving to work together to offer the best possible service that they can. And that in itself will ensure that we have consistency in the experiences that foster carers have when they come to us to foster, in the support that they receive, improved responsivity right across the board really. So it opens up opportunities, and foster carers are really going to benefit from being part of the national collaboration, which ultimately is striving to improve quality and their experience, and therefore the experiences of children within their care.
Excellent, lovely. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so the next question posed was, how was the Foster Wales brand developed? Matt, this has got to be a question for you.
sounds like my territory.
Got your name all over it.
Yeah. How is the brand developed? Slowly, steadily, carefully, collaboratively, I suppose are the key words. I've been working with the team for just over 4 years now. It's been a very collaborative journey. We started off with a series of discovery workshops, which we ran in all the regions across Wales, which gave sort of 70, 80 people from within the foster care services across Wales the chance to contribute what they thought was important. That highlighted a few key insights, which we used to drive a creative exploration process, which again was run through workshops. Workshops are attended by representatives of all the regions across Wales, between 12 and 14 people in those 3 workshops, which helped us kind of explode the problem and then kind of whittle it down to a kind of collaboratively agreed answer, which we all felt was the right way to go. We then took that answer, that proposition, and we researched it with the target audience, so some existing foster carers and some members of the public who kind of matched the value set of our core pioneer target audience, asked them what they thought, how did the creative resonate with them, got some really reassuring answers there, used all that to make some recommendations to the strategic steering group, who then happily signed that off. And at that point, we then engaged with some more technical experts. I'm a language person, I'm a brand person, I am not a designer. I can't do anything creative with design wise. So we brought in some really good designers, we brought in some really good web developers, we've brought in a really strong campaign agency to help us create the beautiful brand you see in front of you, built on the strategy that we'd all developed together, so it's solid and robust, and then use that brand strategy and the brand creative to start creating 23 websites and an amazing advertising campaign, which will be going live later in the year, but which you're starting to now see some of those fruits of now in terms of the videos. So we got a sense of the fact that we've got a tone, which is to be serious, but to also be playful, to be kind of dedicated, but also be surprising, and to combine all those things to be quite powerful, which gives us permission to have some quite kind of powerful emotional conversations with foster carers, but also to be quite creative and fun in terms of the way in which we communicate the importance of the idea of home, both of which you've seen today.
Thanks, Matt, and certainly surprising.
Yeah.
That video was definitely surprising, so we'll certainly tick that box, haven't we? Okay, just mindful we've got a couple of minutes left, so I think we've got time for one more question to squeeze in. So the question's been asked is, what's going to happen next? Really good question there. And Sarah, I'm going to ask you to answer that, if you will.
Yeah, so, well, next for Maethu Cymru is once we get everything launched today and the general public knows who we are and where we are, there's a great deal more work to be undertaken. This is the start of a long and fruitful journey for Foster Wales, and it includes a number of other opportunities for us to ensure that we keep taking advantage of where we can improve and what we can offer our foster carers. I think in relation to our launch and campaign, Matt mentioned just earlier, we have a television campaign due to launch in September, and a much wider opportunities to focus on recruitment. And then after that, it will be ongoing work to undertake retention, ensure that we're retaining our fantastic foster carers that we recruit.
Excellent. Okay, look at that. Look at that timing, perfect timing, bang on 12 o'clock. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed the launch. We certainly have. We've enjoyed the journey and we've enjoyed today, really, so much. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you. Diolch yn fawr iawn.